it's me, Jeanette Frankovich. I know I'm still working on videotaping myself, and so as I'm staring at myself creating the video, I notice all these little things I need to fix. So I apologize for not being good at this. Anyways, I was trying to do like a split screen because there were things I wanted to say in reference to what I want to talk about today. And so what I would like to talk about is perseverance. I had wrote something a couple days back on WordPress about perseverance, and in my life it kind of came full circle. I wanted to make a video all week, but haven't been feeling the best. Quite an understatement. And somehow I ended up, I'm not even sure how I got there, I guess Game of Thrones research, and somehow I ended up seeing Emilia Clarke's website on now I'm going to mess it up because I can't split screen and have everything up on my computer, but I can't see it while I'm videotaping. So I believe it's called Save Me, or Save Me, You Save. Oh my gosh, I'm totally messing this up. But regardless, in watching her video about the health issues she went through with Game of Thrones, which obviously nobody knew about, and if you don't know, in 2011 and 2013 she had brain surgery and hemorrhaging and strokes. And if you want to read more, her story is on I believe the New York Post, and I'll find the links and post it in the description below. I'm getting wiser and smarter on how to do those things, and that's what you should do. That's what everybody else does. So in light of that, it really resonated with me, because as an adult I've had tons of health issues, not brain surgery obviously, which is totally severe, and listening and reading what she went through, it's crazy. But what I do know is, unfortunately, chronic illness. There are thousands upon thousands of people with chronic illnesses, and it's a hardship that we endure, typically by ourselves, because you can't see any physical issues with us, kind of like brain surgery. You cover up with hair and whatnot, so you don't necessarily know that there's an issue. And so it takes a toll on you emotionally, physically, kind of typically going through that yourself. And the other big portion of it is that there's a point in time where family and friends, because they 9 times out of 10 can't relate because they don't have issues, and you don't, like I said, physically see that there's an issue, you can't see what's wrong internally with somebody, where you're alone, and you feel very alone, you feel very damaged and emotionally crippled. You feel alone, and depending on your life circumstances and how you grew up and all that kind of stuff, that kind of obviously plays into how you view yourself as an adult going through all of this. And I was blessed many years ago when my daughter was finally an adult and she was out of the house and had her own family. I was doing everything by myself, and it was it was hard, and it was a learning experience, and I did persevere. It took time. It took a lot of self-help and like seeking other people. I found these great resources on Facebook. There's all these closed groups, so you have to go through an admin, which is totally appropriate to make sure you don't get like kind of like crazy people or whatever in the group. However, what the group provides you is what you can't get anywhere else, which is a close-knit family who has gone through, depending on which group you choose, you ask to be a part of. It's people that understand chronic illnesses or understand people who've had major back surgeries or knee surgeries or whatever it may be. My issue is one of my issues is back issues, and it's people who have literally all over the world gone through something similar, and they're there to give you advice. They're there to listen. It's where you can go to talk about, okay, my doctor put me on this medicine. This is how I'm feeling. Is this normal? Have you had this experience? And people suggest, no, I've taken that, but this is how I reacted to it. No, that's not really something that I have researched and personally know about. I don't think it's that great of an option. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should get a second opinion. So that offers a wide variety of help and resources and healing. And I guess for me, on a personal, deeper level, I know that speaking out to family and or friends that can't relate, it becomes, I wouldn't say a burden on them per se, but sometimes it seems as if you're being over dramatic, or they get tired of hearing about all your complaints or all your struggles or all you have to go through to just get and seek help. It's extremely frustrating when you've gone through 30 years of trying to find answers and seeking help and all kinds of things. For me personally, it has been an upward battle, and some of the things that Emilia Clarke says resonate so well with me. I found her charity. It's Same You Charity. It's sameyou.org if you're interested in learning more about brain injury and stroke, how it can devastate obviously people's lives, and how you hide it and the things you go through. And obviously she's being a great advocate for that, and that is totally awesome. And I would like to eventually be an advocate for for people who have chronic illnesses, because I don't think we do have a voice out there. You have actors and people in the public eye that talk about one thing or another, or I've had this back surgery, or I've dealt with a lot of people have come out about being bipolar, or having families that are bipolar, or things of that nature, which is totally great. I'm not trying to downplay anything, any kind of health issue that you have, emotional, physical. It's debilitating, and it has a lifelong effect on you and on people that are in your life and care about you. But for me, like I said, it's chronic illness, like somebody with fibromyalgia. You can't see it, you can't feel it, you don't know that they're going through things, and it can be like a roller coaster. They have great days, they have bad days, and there's no way to know. And one of the things I've tried to teach my families, specifically certain people in my family, I don't want to name names, throw people under the bus, but people close to my heart, people tend to judge based on your physical appearance. So like Amelia Clark, nobody knew what she was going through. She hid it so very well. So very well. I mean, she is on a major TV series that is blown up across the world. And watching it, you'd never know she had these issues. And that's kind of where chronic illness comes into play. You can't see that people are having issues. And like I said, we keep it quiet. When we do talk to families, sometimes it becomes a burden to them, or it becomes an annoyance, or it becomes, you're always like a Debbie Downer, or you're always looking for issues or problems. But I think when you've gone through it as long as I have, and other people in my situation that are almost 50, you just know. I just know. And part of what I've had to do is fight for every medical thing I've ever gone through. So when it came to my back surgery, I was like, I know there's something wrong with my back. I know it's more than what I'm being told, and all these pain specialists are trying to help me, but I know there's more to it. There's an underlying issue, and it took many years and many doctors to finally figure that out, and found a great surgeon who is just totally awesome, and I can't say enough about the man. He's been a total blessing in my life, and been a savior of sorts, you could say, because he gave me a chance to live a normal life, but I was doing great after surgery, after my recovery time, and then I fell twice, and it wasn't just like a short fall. It was, both times was not good for me and for my back, and it has caused me tons of issues since then. And even though it's been a little over 3 years, I guess, since the first fall, and then subsequently several months later another fall, I'm still having issues, but it's not just my back. There's so much more to it. Anyways, back to, I feel like I'm diversity degrading. I feel like I'm leaving the topic. So perseverance is something that, as a Christian, I struggle with being the best that I can be, and trying to be a light to others, but at the same time trying to deal with what I'm going through. And it's a daily struggle, and that's the blessing of having these groups on Facebook or wherever you find them. It could be a physical group you go to, a support group. Either way, you need a support system, and typically you need a support system outside of the family for all the reasons I've named for the past 14 minutes. There's a little countdown on the thing. Because you need that spirit, that extra help to help you see that you're not alone, help you feel like you're not alone. You're not going through this alone, that regardless of the fact that you can't speak about this to your family or your friends because they're going to view you a certain way, you have these other people that don't have all that. Even if they have baggage of their own or whatever, they don't know you like that. They haven't grown up with you or lived with you for whatever, and they offer this great, refreshing, open opinion and love and support that people that have been through or been with you through the trying times, through the struggles, just can't, at some point they've had enough, and you can get it, you can understand, but you still need support. So that's why having these support groups is so beneficial. One of the things that, and I don't know if I said it before, but I cried when I watched her video talking about it, and then reading about what she went through, Emilia Clarke. It just resonated with me, and it hurt so bad because I can understand and I relate, and it is a struggle, and I'm so glad that there's somebody out there speaking for people who don't have a voice. And like she said, she had a aneurysm, and most people die, so it's a blessing that she can be able to speak on the behalf of people that have already passed and are already gone and in a better place, but she can speak for those people that might be going there, might be going through that, or might have already gone through that, to the families and to, everybody involved. So perseverance, let's see. So I wrote, if you go to my WordPress, you'll see I've written a lot of things over the years, and I have a pile of notes, and I'm going to try to continue to write, God willing, as often as I can, which I just need to be more persistent. So this is a bookmark of a poem I wrote years ago I tried to make, and I'm going to try to produce these at some point. And if you're interested in ever getting a cute little bookmark, once I've created a newer version, because this is like from 2000, so graphics was bad and whatnot back then. But anyways, God is There is the title, and I believe it, like I said, it should be on my WordPress, and if it's not, I will put it there as soon as I post a video. God is there in the dead of night. You are there. You are there watching over me, looking on as I sleep, hearing my prayers, lighting my dreams. When the sun is bright, you are there. You are there walking with me, watching me as I go, listening as I speak, lighting my words. You are there with me always, ever present, ever still, evermore. You are there. And it's true. It's when people try to ask you, non-believers or sometimes even believers ask you, why do you believe? Why do you have a faith? It's very much like that. Like, you can't explain your faith. You can't explain your belief in God and your belief in any of that, because it's personal to you, and how you came to that belief is personal, and your struggles, what you went through, how you got there, how you continue to stay there, you just know. Or at least for me, I just know. Years ago, I have a very, very vivid memory. My sister died when I was 13 in 83. And I have a very, very vivid memory when I was in high school. It just like overcame me. I can remember sitting in my bedroom and probably listening to music, because I love music, and just this feeling of like a presence of God, and just feeling Jesus in my life, and in that moment, just an overwhelming feeling of just like love and acceptance, and there's no way to describe it. It was unexpected. I wasn't seeking anything. He just came to me. I just felt the presence. I felt the love. I felt the awesomeness of his grace and love, and gone through so much in my life and hidden so much. And there's so many things that people don't talk about. and I want to start opening up that can of worms, so other people realize it's okay. It's okay to talk about the pain and the hurt you went through. Not only is it okay, but it's good for you. It's good for others. It helps others come out and speak about their tragedies, their struggles, knowing that they're not alone. And I know one of the things Amelia Clark spoke about was, she was always taught there's somebody who has it worse than you, which is totally true. There always is somebody who's worse than you. I live in San Antonio, Texas, and I've been going to Max Lucado's church since about 97, 98 maybe. And totally, I know he doesn't like to be idolized, but I guess I do kind of idolize Max. He just speaks to you on a personal level, and the fact that he's so blessed to be able to write and speak and preach to like the common person, to where you understand where he's coming from, you can relate, you can put the two, what he's putting out there, what he's putting together, stories of his personal life or stories of people he's met, and adding the Bible references to that and saying, look, this is God reaching out to you. And one of the things that I think is a big blessing about Max is that he's like so many others. David Robinson comes to mind because he used to attend Oak Hills. I haven't seen him there in years, but very, very humble person. Just I never really got to know him on a personal level. My daughter went to like church camps with his son, which is kind of cool. But he never, the one time I saw him like in a normal setting was, a dad bringing his son to go to a church camp, and he was just like anybody else, other than, Robinson's huge. He's extremely tall, and I'm extremely short, so 2-3 feet taller than me. So, and it's really cute to see him with his wife too at church. It was just really, really cute because there's such a huge height difference between the two. There's absolutely adorable people. And one of the things that Max always asked of us was to treat David like anybody else. So don't go up to him and be like, oh my God, it's you. You're in, at the time, you're in the Spurs. It's so awesome. You're so great. Blah, blah, blah. Can I get your signature? Can you do this or whatever? And it's not about that. It's about him and any other. I know George has been to our church before, and I'm sure there's other people that have been there as well because of Max before he got as big as he is now. They want to come and just be normal. I mean, yeah, they have to have like a mini entourage, and they have to come in, a special way because people inevitably can't or don't automatically think of them as a regular person. So they do have to get treated special, even though they don't really want to. They kind of have no choice. So respecting that boundary is important for people in the public eye when you see them like that. So perseverance, light, faith, trying to bring it all around. On my let me see if I can go to my WordPress. Well, actually before I go to that, my husband and I were my husband's avid. He has like over 30,000 songs in his music library, and he'd have so much more. He can get down a rabbit hole and find all this music, and he just likes all kinds. It's crazy. So we were talking about something, and he showed me because loves to show me cute little things that he finds out about people and whatnot. So got this whole little thing going. And he found it was I believe the lead singer from the Clash, and so we watched a video about Joe Strummer, and like I said, I'll add the link after the fact since I don't know how to split screen, so this is why it's taking me so long, so I apologize, and I don't know how to edit yet, so I apologize for that as well. So this is something Joe Strummer said in his in the biography, a little thing they had about him. And he said, and so now I'd like to say, people can change anything they want to. And that means everything in the world. People are running about following their own little mousetraps, and I am one of them. But we've all got to stop just following our own little mousetrap. People can do anything. This is something that I'm beginning to learn. People are out there doing bad things to each other. It's because they've been dehumanized. It's time to take the humanity back into the center of the ring and follow that for a time. Greed, it ain't going anywhere. They should have that on a big billboard across Times Square. Without people, we are nothing. That's my spiel. It was one of the last things he said. And it's true. We get stuck on our own little, like, wheel, hamster wheel, running around, running the rat race, trying to appease our family, our friends, ourselves, our job, whatever it may be. And we're so busy, like, going through that wheel and going through those motions, we forget to be there for others. I'm totally guilty of that. My bestest friend in the whole world, I feel like I failed her because I have gotten so, for the past several years, because of my health, I went through a deep dive of depression and just not wanting to open up about it, not wanting to get close to people, and I totally closed myself off to one of the people who's been there my entire adult life and was there for my daughter and her family, helped me out. Like, I can't count the many blessings and the many things they've done for me. They've been totally awesome, and I'm so proud and happy of the people they've become and of the love they have in their heart and of the understanding and of the what's it that I'm trying to say, of the fact that even though they have gone through so many things themselves, they are there for others, and they don't or haven't let that stop them from being loving, encouraging, just awesome people, and that bless others every day. And I apologize and I've apologized to her countless times. I'm sure it gets old. I think of her often, and I feel like I don't know how to reach out. And the only time I think about her all the time, but it seems that when I do reach out, it's in a time of struggle, and that's not the time to be reaching out, and then I feel guilty, and I have this whole guilt complex, and that's a whole other thing. That could be a whole nother, I'm going on 30 minutes diatribe. So, let's see. So, perseverance, love, faith. For me, it all kind of comes back around, and I am just so blessed to have loving people in my life. Like I said, I may not tell them everything I'm going through because I don't want to put them through all of that. But here is what I wrote on my website about about perseverance. I think I can pause this without making a big Okay, let's see if I can figure out how to put all of that together. Perseverance from my WordPress. Make it through the storm, persevere. Philippians 4. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. Fear, fret, pause to celebrate what God has done in our lives. Leave our situation with God, so He may grant us the supernatural peace within. This peace becomes our calm in the storm. A mighty fortress is our God, Martin Luther said. Hebrews 1:14. Are not all the angels spirits who work for God? They are sent out to help those who are to be saved from the punishment of sin. God's promise is that we are never alone. We are not in the furnace alone. Angels are watching over us at all times. Knowing that they are present reassures us that we will survive the storm because we are not ever alone. Psalm 91:11. For He will tell His angels to care for you, keep you in all your ways. Our life belongs to God, and He will ensure His angels are with us in times of need. Believe and speak it into existence. We are never alone. John 10:14. I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. So now you are no longer a servant who is owned by someone. You are a son. If you are a son, then you will receive what God has promised through Christ. All of us are in the Lord's service, and we all belong to Him. We are His children, His sheep, and He has never nor will ever forsake us. Therefore, as His believers, His followers, His sheep, His children, we are all bound by His love, compassion, forgiveness, and in His service to reach and teach all in any way we can through our thoughts, our deeds, our words, and just plain living our life for Him. We are never alone. Acts 27:23. I belong to God and I work for Him. Last night, an angel of God stood by me. Our Heavenly Father gives us the exact number of days He has preordained for us. These days of living breath by breath are so we might follow His will for us, the will He has laid out for each of us. We are never alone. John 16:33. I have told you these things so you may have peace in me. In the world you will have much trouble, but take hope. I have power over the world. Isaiah 43:2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the rivers, they will not flow over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The fire will not destroy you. Our perseverance through our challenges in life are directly because He is with us. Never alone shall we feel. His presence abides if we stop and listen, follow His call. We persevere through crisis, through our will, beliefs, and hopefully, prayerfully love within for whom we are children of God. We are never alone. And so now I'd like to say, Joe Strummer again. And so now I'd like to say people can change anything they want to. And that means everything in the world. But we have to stop following our own little mouse trail, our own little gerbil hamster wheel. People are out there doing bad things, which is so true, but we do not have to be part of those people. We can choose to be better. We can choose to stop and breathe and believe and realize we are not alone. We are never alone. He is ever present. He is ever with us. When Carrie Underwood sings about Jesus, take the wheel, that hits home for so many people, and I think it does because it resonates with us, because in so many times in our lives, we feel we are alone. But if we give God the wheel, if we move out of His way, we give Him the chance to work through us, which is what I'm doing. I'm trying to let Him work through me to reach, teach, inspire, love others, persevere, get through the storm, realize I myself am never ever alone. He is always with me. I need to move out of the way, give Him control of my life. And as a faith believer, one of the ways we do that is through prayer. Pray constantly is what the Bible tells us to do. Ever present, He is with us. We are never alone. And one of the ways you can help combat whatever life throws your way, or the struggles or the demons that you have in the back of your head, for me, like guilt complex, always trying to appease and make everybody else happy and not always, taking time to make myself happy. If we stop and we think about Him constantly and we pray, and when I mean pray, prayer is so many things. It doesn't have to be on your knees 24/7 talking to God on the floor at your bedside. It's talking to God constantly. That's what He talks about. We should always have an open dialogue with Him. So for me, it's like just constantly trying to retrain or remember, God is with me. Okay, God, this is happening. This is something that's minute, but I'm asking You for guidance. I'm asking You for help. I'm praising You. Years ago, there's something I learned, I believe, more likely at my church or at a Bible study that I was in. And the 5 things you need to, or the 5 things you need to do when you pray. So I will look that up and add that to the bottom of the link. But one of the things is pray for others. I know a lot of us have been wronged in some way or another by somebody that we care about or trust. And people, are human, and we violate that trust and that love. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes not intentionally, and we have to create boundaries for that. However, God says, even if you have to create a boundary and you need to say, I don't need that person in my life right now because I need to work on me because of the things that they have done on a constant basis and are still doing and don't realize they're doing or won't admit it or whatever the case may be. There's all kinds of scenarios. God tells us to pray for that person. And the reason we pray for that person is twofold, because it helps us with dealing with any struggles or trials we have with that person. And then it also gives God the opportunity to work within that situation, to mend, heal, witness to that person. Or it could be one person, it could be a whole slew of people. There's all kinds of situations, obviously, in life that people go through. So, persevere. That's what this is about. It's about perseverance and remembering we are never truly alone. Pray constantly. If you need help with that, reach out. I would love to be your prayer partner. I have awesome parents that were missionaries, retired missionaries. My dad and my stepmom are just awesome, loving people. And they have prayer partners across the world, literally. And if you need anything, please reach out. Reach out to somebody. Me, your church, your family, your friends. Find a support group. Just reach out so you realize you are not alone in this moment in life ever. You are not alone. We are never truly alone. And I just hope that this reaches out to people that need it. Okay. I'm done ranting for perseverance. I could go on forever about lots of stuff. Ask my husband. I love you all. God bless. And I'm out. Bye.